The Rock replaces Solo Sikoa, why WWE Raw is not live tonight. A major update on a controversial Raw change for Netflix. Otis is genuinely unhappy with Chad Gable's rude message to him on his birthday. Ric Flair publicly threatens a veteran. Why Brock Lesnar is not returning to the WWE. AJ Lee is returning at Royal Rumble 2025. John Cena getting his last title run. Roman Reigns loses his tribal combat match. Let's dive right in. Why WWE Raw is not live tonight. Monday Night Raw has been WWE's flagship show for decades, telecasted live every week on USA Network. Tonight's show is set to be the penultimate episode of the Red brand before it moves to its new home, Netflix, next year. However, the December 23rd edition of Raw was already taped from TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. WWE Raw is not live tonight because of the Christmas holidays. The Stamford-based promotion has granted leaves to the WWE superstars so they could enjoy the festive weekend with their families and loved ones. Christmas is the festival of lights and love, and is celebrated with great exuberance around the world. It is the time of the year when family, friends, and community come together and celebrate it. WWE has made sure to give the superstars and the employees adequate time to enjoy the holiday season. Hence, the company pre-taped tonight's episode of the Red brand last week itself so that the storylines does not take a halt. However, the show will air at the same time on USA Network, and fans can enjoy it as usual. House shows will also resume on December 26th, marking the onset of the WWE Live Holiday Tour. The upcoming weeks are set to be crucial for the Stamford-based promotion, as we are just 2 weeks away from WWE's Monumental debut on Netflix. A major update on a controversial Raw change for Netflix. WWE is just over 2 weeks away from one of its most important Raw episodes in company history. The company's flagship show will premiere on Netflix under a new 10-year deal worth more than $5 billion. The WWE Universe is expecting many swerves and surprises for the new Red brand era, and now sources have provided a backstage update on one controversial change. Monday Night Raw premiered in primetime on January 11, 1993, via the USA Network. After 1,649 episodes, the longest-running weekly episodic show in TV history, will make the jump to Netflix. WWE's new partner is able to opt out after 5 years, or extend the deal for an extra 10. This means World Wrestling Entertainment and Netflix could be partnered for 5, 10, or 15 years, depending on what the streaming giant wants. Vince McMahon took Raw to 2 hours in February 1997 to compete with WCW Nitro. Raw 1000 in July 2012 marked the move to 3 hours. In a big surprise, Raw temporarily moved back to 2 hours on October 7th earlier this year, but the 3-hour format will reportedly return on January 6th. Fightful Select reported that WWE talents have some unanswered questions as the Netflix premiere rapidly approaches. Raw moved back to 2 hours in the fall due to a USA Network request as part of the brief extension between the longtime partners. The deal was originally scheduled to run through October 2024, but extended a few months to bridge the gap to the launch of the Netflix era. The change was welcomed by many, but the company was adamant about going back to 3 hours. Superstars who were at last Monday's Boston tapings to air on December 23rd for Christmas week have noted to sources how they still were not told exactly how long the weekly Raw runtime will be on Netflix. Additional sources have not provided a clear answer when asked over the past few months either. Netflix is said to have no hardouts for Raw, according to one backstage source. This could be a major bonus for WWE, as sources added that there will be plenty of flexibility when it comes to the show and how it airs. Officials will surely welcome these perks, as word from months back was how behind-the-scenes workers and talents were looking forward to less censorship and more leeway from Netflix. Otis is genuinely unhappy with Chad Gable's rude message to him on his birthday. There is no love lost between WWE superstars Otis and Chad Gable. The two had been inseparable for the longest time, until the latter turned heel and started berating his number one guy. Otis eventually snapped and attacked Gable, freeing himself and the rest of the Alpha Academy from the tyrannical ex-Olympian. However, they never faced each other. The two have crossed paths again on WWE television recently, with it now looking like the match will finally happen. Away from the ring, Chad Gable continues to be petty towards Otis. He proved this by leaving a rude comment on the former Money in the Bank winner's social media post about his birthday. Otis took to his official Instagram handle to send a heartfelt message to his fellow wrestlers, fans, friends, and family. Here is how Gable wished him. "Unhappy birthday," commented Gable. Otis flat out ignored the comment, which means he wasn't happy about it at all. This also confirms that he can stand up for himself against his former leader. That quality would come in handy in the final leg of their feud on Monday Night Raw. Ric Flair publicly threatens a veteran. WWE Hall of Famer. Ric Flair is beyond furious with a wrestling veteran and threatened him in a recent tweet on his X handle. The Nature Boy is currently feuding with former Ring of Honor owner Kerry Silkin on the social media website. Kerry Silkin recently alleged in a tweet that Flair owed him $41,000 from 4 signing appearances that he failed to attend. Silkin made the allegations publicly via a tweet directed at the former WWE champion. Ric Flair has now responded to Kerry Silkin with a threatening message on X/Twitter. Flair announced that he's scheduled to appear on an episode of Busted Open in a few hours and will seemingly address the situation on the podcast. "I'll be on Busted Open tomorrow at 11 a.m. Kerry Silkin, prepare to live in another country after I get through with you. Then we'll talk about real wrestling and real people that matter in life. Last time I checked, still the greatest wrestler to ever live." Flair has seen his fair share of struggles and bad patches. He once received a massive amount of money from Vince McMahon while he was facing tough times. Here's what he said on Broken Skull Sessions back in 2020. "I've been rich, I've been poor, I've owed the IRS $1 million once, $2 million once. I'm even, no bankruptcy, and I can probably count $1 million that I've got right now. And everything is paid for. I owed Vince, paid back Vince. He gave me an $800,000 loan and told me to declare bankruptcy. I knew that I couldn't live with myself if I did." Why Brock Lesnar is not returning to the WWE. It seems Brock Lesnar's WWE future doesn't look too bright. The Beast Incarnate was last seen in a losing effort against Cody Rhodes in the third of their matches at SummerSlam 2023. While many expected him to return soon, some reports suggest the former Universal Champion may not appear on WWE TV again anytime soon. According to Dr. Chris Featherstone, Brock Lesnar's return is purportedly not being discussed internally. "I have been informed that there's been no internal conversations regarding Brock Lesnar coming back to WWE, and the belief is that he will not be returning anytime in the foreseeable future," Dr. Chris reported. According to multiple online rumors, Lesnar is satisfied with the way his career has panned out and wasn't looking at a return to the ring. He is supposedly currently enjoying his life in Saskatchewan, Canada, being a father to his kids. The Beast Incarnate has been under the radar in recent times, especially after his name was seemingly alluded to in the Vince McMahon controversy. He is currently listed on the company's website on the free agents page. The Raw's debut show on Netflix is stacked, and Lesnar's return looks unlikely right now. The next best chance for the next big thing's return could be the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble. AJ Lee is returning at Royal Rumble 2025? It has been a while since the WWE Universe has seen AJ Lee. The 37-year-old is undoubtedly one of the most popular superstars in pro wrestling history and has influenced several members of today's women's division. For years now, fans have been hoping for her return, but could it actually happen at Royal Rumble 2025? The answer to that question is perhaps a yes. The last time AJ Lee was seen in a WWE ring was way back in 2015. Back then, she joined forces with Naomi and Paige against Natalya and the Bella Twins in her last match. However, after 9 years, or 3,596 days to be exact, she could return to the company at Royal Rumble 2025. And there have been a few signs already suggesting the same. To begin with, she is the spouse of CM Punk, and the voice of the voiceless is a current point of discussion in WWE. AJ Lee was not just brought up multiple times during his conflict with Drew McIntyre, but she was also referenced again fairly recently. At the Raw on Netflix kickoff show, Michael Cole, the voice of the company, introduced Punk as the husband of AJ Lee. This, unsurprisingly, received a huge pop, showing that she is still a popular figure among fans. Considering the Royal Rumble is the perfect place for legends to make their return, WWE might want to give the Black Widow a call. But at this point, this is nothing more than speculation. It has been at least a year since AJ Lee has been involved with any form of pro wrestling. Her last role in the industry was as an executive producer and color commentator for Women of Wrestling. Since then, though, Lee has had little to do with wrestling. Nevertheless, there are times when she has had interactions with other stars in the field. Most recently, she left an interesting comment on a picture her husband, CM Punk, posted of himself and Rhea Ripley in the gym. A comment that raised a couple of eyebrows, as she referred to the duo as Zaddy and Mommy. This has understandably got the WWE Universe excited, as many have started wondering when she will make her return. While there is no telling when that may be, it's safe to say that the fans will be vigilant for any signs suggesting that it might be on the horizon. John Cena getting his last title run. 22-year veteran John Cena might at last get his first title after 2,925 days since the last time he won the WWE Championship. His last win was in the Royal Rumble 2017 PLE. He is now tied with Ric Flair at 16 world title wins and has a chance to make history by getting his 17th world title at Royal Rumble 2025 PLE. The 47-year-old is getting ready to make his comeback on the first episode of Raw on Netflix, where he could challenge Gunther for a title shot on February 1st. The ring general has carved his name as one of the toughest champions in WWE's history. Yet, if John Cena were to win a title, it would stir things up as we move toward WrestleMania 41. A win at Royal Rumble after 2,925 days of winning his last WWE Championship would secure Cena's name in the history books and boost the thrill of one of WWE's biggest events. With over 20 years under his belt, he's created unforgettable moments and established himself as a key figure in sports entertainment. Winning a 17th title would not only show his loyalty, but also create a huge moment for fans all around the world. We'll have to wait and see if Cena steps into the grandest stage of them all as the record-breaking champion, or if WWE will keep Gunther's dominance going. Either way, the Royal Rumble 2025 could be gearing up to be a huge moment in the Stamford-based promotion's history. Roman Reigns loses his tribal combat match. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are set to lock horns in a singles contest for WWE Raw's debut on Netflix. Both men have been trying to take each other down since Reigns' return at SummerSlam, and their upcoming match on the historic Raw episode could add another twist to the intriguing bloodline story. A legend recently weighed in on the result of the bout. Roman Reigns teamed up with the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk to pin Solo Sikoa and his bloodline at War Games. Since then, there have been multiple developments in their intriguing story. Bronson Reed, Tonga Loa, and Jimmy Uso walked out of the brutal match with injuries, and Drew McIntyre's return has turned things around for the OG bloodline. During a recent edition of the Jim Cornette Experience podcast, the legend addressed the potential winner of the match and stated that WWE could shock the world with a Solo Sikoa victory. The veteran added that if Sikoa ended up losing, he might not be able to maintain his scary persona after losing 2 big matches to the OTC. We got Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman going not only now for an Emmy, but also potentially an award in cinematography. They've been fooling us for about 3 years now, so maybe Roman gets beat on this one. But maybe he gets beat in such a way, it would be hard to figure out a way to keep Solo scary if he just got beat at Survivor Series and now he gets beat on this widely watched special, because then, if you do the heat afterward, you're just doing the same thing, said Jim Cornette. The Rock replaces Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns and OG Bloodline nailed a historic win over Solo Sikoa and his version of the stable at Survivor Series, War Games 2024. Amid the spectacular triumph, the Stamford-based promotion has finally granted Reigns a singles match against Sikoa to reclaim his position of Tribal Chief and get a hold of the Ula Fala. The original Tribal Chief is all set to clash with Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat on the January 6th edition of Raw on Netflix. The self-proclaimed Tribal Chief Sikoa has often been unsuccessful in attempts to neutralize Reigns. Meanwhile, popular fan theories suggest The Rock is the true mastermind behind the fall of the bloodline. In a shocking twist, fans could see the final boss replacing Solo Sikoa with former WWE champion Drew McIntyre, as Sikoa has failed to achieve his targets. Since returning, the Scottish Warrior has been gunning at the members of OG Bloodline. In the latest episode of SmackDown, McIntyre confronted Solo and told him although he doesn't like him, they still have some unfinished business, the common goal of punishing Reigns. Recently, Drew McIntyre posted a video on his social media accounts mocking CM Punk after being awarded as the best pro wrestler on the mic in 2024. Meanwhile, the eagle-eyed fans saw a crucial hidden Easter egg that could be seen as a hint that McIntyre may be secretly working for The Rock. The signature sword behind the Scottish Warrior's back was the same piece of sword that the final boss gifted while sending a contract renewal earlier this year. Drew McIntyre could play an important role in the saga and could potentially cost Roman Reigns his tribal combat, helping Solo Sikoa clinch the victory and retain his Ula Fala at the season premiere episode of Raw on Netflix. The actions of the 39-year-old would help to extend the saga further to WrestleMania 41. Some reports indicate WWE might introduce a Tribal Chief title, and Roman Reigns and Sikoa might clash to earn the ultimate prize. McIntyre's involvement would add fuel to the saga to continue further. However, this is just conjecture at this point. It will be interesting to watch what plans the Triple H-led creative team has in store.